Recording is in progress. Hello, everybody. Daryl Snyder, Fantasy Sports Logic, Thursday, July 20th. This is going to be our Contrarian Edge Optimizer demo video. Brandon and I do every day for the last couple of weeks our daily deeper dive video. This is the homepage. I'm not going to play this video. Feel free to come to fantasysportslogic.com. It's less than a minute or maybe a minute and a few seconds. Gives you an idea of what you can experience with a Contrarian Edge Optimizer 7-day test drive, only $1. I would strongly encourage you to check out this 3-minute video on all the cool features. And we have just added one that I'm going to cover today called Stack Attack. So little 3-game slate up top. If you come to, if I refresh this, you'll see, yeah, you can subscribe to the blog for free. We do a Ballpark Pal Daily Park Factors video, and it covers 4 charts that we receive from ballparkpal.com. Subscribe, get access to that. It's free. I'll click on it once to show you what you'll see every day. Today, daily deeper dive podcast. My pick to click, if you were listening, if you paid any attention, Corbin Burns, 8 innings, 2-hitter, struck out 10. He would have been I think I told people to look for him on some of the DFS sites for a more than 6 or 7 strikeouts. He'd have done well. And I'm not sure who Brandon picked. This was for the early slate. So probably, oh yeah, it was Juan Soto. And they got shut out by, surprisingly, in Toronto. Avoided a sweep. Bassett shut him out. So I don't think Brandon will have bragging rights. I think my pick with Burns. But this afternoon, it's just a small 3-game slate. Let me show you the optimizer. Here we go. Contrarian Edge Optimizer is I think one of one. But, oh yeah, you wonder why I have sunglasses on. It's bright both here and there, but if I pull the curtains, then I'll be dark. So to avoid the brightness, I'm not blind, I can see. I put on these sunglasses. They're Costa Del Mar. They were gracious enough to sponsor me last year fishing. I love to deep sea fish, and so I haven't pulled them in yet to be a sponsor here at Fantasy Sports Logic, but I have a plan. Also, what I'm looking to do is, I don't know if you've ever tried this. I'm enjoying my first fresh one this afternoon. It's a Finnish long drink. Miles Teller, who starred in Top Gun Maverick. He's an investor. I think couple of golfers and a DJ, but it's insane. But I share it with a lot of people. Anybody that's tried it, it's a real light, not a gin drinker, but it is a gin citrus blend, low calories, like 0 calories in that white one. 99 grams of sugar. It's like 5.0, so it's not high on the Richter scale, and it's very refreshing. I poured on ice. You can see there's Costa again with their nice glasses. I got an event last year, but super refreshing. If you ever enjoyed Fresca back in the day, it kind of reminds me of that. I don't taste any gin in it, but anyways, hopefully they'll soon be a sponsor. We have a lot of great ones. Let's go back to the optimizer. You'll see today you can choose DraftKings FanDuel. I'm going to enter some DraftKings contest here for the slate that starts, I believe, at, let me look, I think it's 4:05 for the evening. Let me be sure of that. I'm looking at my my DraftKings app, and it is, make sure I don't mislead anybody. First game, 3:40. So I better hurry up and get this video out. Got about an hour. What you have the opportunity to do here is we have 7 live, I was saying it's a one-on-one, 7 live player projection feeds, not just any feed, Ballpark Pal. This is, I think, the only provider, Fantasy Sports Logic, that they provide their feed to. along with FTN data, RotoWire, Sports Radar, Sports Data IO, Stats Perform, and the Baker Engine. Baker Engine simulation, 10,000 different potential outcomes of any major league game. Ballpark Pal, 3,000. Not to be outdone, FTN data, Frank, 40,000 simulations. That's insane. RotoWire, they've been around probably one of the longest. I know Sports or Stats Perform has been around since the late 80s. When I talked to Corey there, Charles at Sports Data IO, we get their legacy feed as well as they provide the Baker Engine. So what that means, if you'll see here, see all these projections, right? FP7 matches up with Stats Perform, FP6 Sports.io. They're liking as the top pitcher in just a small 3-game slate. Last now, and he is the highest priced pitcher on the slate. 10,000, very high owned, but you've only, 6 pitchers to choose from, right? So not a lot of places to go. You can either ride the wave and go with looks like projected 80% ownership, not be real different, but if he gets off and scores as he's projected anywhere between 17, high 17s, as high as 20, almost 24, probably be behind. But if you get Contrarian and you want to get a little different, and he happens to struggle against Baltimore, which that's not too unexpected. Baltimore's got a pretty powerful lineup. You could be 80% plus ahead of the field. So a Cubby, Marcus Stroman, in that rivalry game against the Cardinals, he's 9,300, 25% owned. It's not a bad option. Stephen Matt pitched better as of late, but he's in Wrigley, 35% owned against the Cubs. JP France for Houston against those always picked on Oakland A's, $8,000, 30, a little over 30% owned. Kyle Gibson going for the Orioles. He is projected to be less than 20% owned. So, or he's going against Tampa Bay. I'm sorry, he's pitching for the Orioles. So, again, 3-game slate, you're going to have to, get on at least 2 of the pitchers. The least desired, but if he would happen to have a miracle game, the A's pitcher Harris, right? He's only 5,500, projected to be 6.8% owned by probably diehard Oakland A fans. But hey, you never know. You can get different that way against the Astros. So let's see. Let me show you some of the features. We have Stack Attack. We have Contrarian mode. It is on. I always have it on. Again, you might want to get different. If you're like everybody else, you're going to tie a lot of people. So that's one of our strategies. You can turn it off. This is for DraftKings or FanDuel. I'm on DraftKings. Who am I going to lock in? You don't have to lock in anybody. You can just let the optimizer do its thing. Let's not lock anybody in. But let's go into Stack Attack mode and 3-game slate. Normally, if one of the teams happens to run off, and let's say the Cubs or the Cardinals in Wrigley today, I know a storm blew through there. I have relatives, son and a daughter in northern Indiana, and I saw it pass through coming out of Chicago. So it's probably a little cooler. And maybe, I think I looked at the weather, Ballpark Pal weather earlier, and it was, wind was blowing in. But let's just say that you think outside of that, the Cubbies. Oh, I locked in the Cubbies. I'm sorry. Let me go back to, it's calculating. I was going to show you the auto. You can do individual teams, but let's go back to auto. I want to show you what the Stack Attack does. See, the mode is off. When I went to auto, I will turn it on. I'm going to go to 5 Cubs. You want to wait before you give it any prompts for it to go through its thing. Similar to little elves in a hollow tree, if you remember that. I referred to the keyboard cookie where they come from, but there's a lot of things happening. In 10 to 14 game slates, there's over 1 million different possibilities of stacking. If you stack as many as 5, and then you have 3 other positions, it'll throw up a 5-3, a 5-2-1, a 5-1-1. I'm going to put stack attack mode on, contrarian mode on, and generate lineups and see what we get. There we go. Who does it like? Likes, this is our blend, proprietary secret sauce. It's blending the other 7 providers. And you can see it shows 4. We have a little slider here. You can click to see the other 7. And then you can look at a lineup option of choice. There you're going to get really different. As I said before with Harris, only $5,500. Again, he's going to be very low owned. I mean, it depends. If you're playing some max 20 or max 150s, I would not believe it to be too bad of an idea. Again, if he somehow makes it through 5 or 6 innings with a run or 2 and has some strikeouts, he could rack up some points that, again, it would get you different. There's Stroman, and then you look at the stacks, right? There's an Orioles stack, always not a bad thing, especially against Glasnow, who was predicted 80% owned. That would be something I will probably look at. You got a Cub in there, Morel. You have a Ray, Josh Lowe. You got 2 Cubs, so it's a 5-2-1. Bellinger, who's had a great bounce back year after signing as a free agent with the Cubbies. You can look here. It is it's a Cardinal staff against Stroman. So here, obviously, it didn't put Stroman. You got Gibson and Glass now. Kind of get the idea, right? You can look and say whoever you like. You may like, looks like a Tampa Bay stack there with a Cub, 2 Cubs. And who's the other? 2 Cubs, Tampa Bay, and 3 Cubs. So that's a 5-3, Mancini, Morel, and Suzuki. So those are all, again, if you play much fantasy on DraftKings or FanDuel, I play almost exclusively DraftKings. You'll find more often than not, I think it's 90%. I mean, you may think that's high, but a stack of 4 or 5 is consistently at the top, winning a lot of the money. So I had our programmers create the stack attack that becomes automated, right? You didn't have to go in and individually do 4 Cubs and 3 Orioles or whatever. And then here's a blend of all 7. So let's say, hey, I kind of like this one, which is picking on Harris in Houston with those Astros. You've got Abreu, Bregman, Marcio, former Giant Dubon, Kyle Tucker, and McCormick matched up in the same game. Brown on the A side. You got a Cardinal in there, Gorman, and Contreras for the Cardinals, going against his former team, right? Wasn't he a Cub last year? Became a free agent. Now he's on the Cub enemy or rival. If you like that, you can say, show me 5. You can go up to 150 per individual. I'm using the blend. You can, whoever, your choice of flavor. And you can hit generate multiple lineups. It'll show you it's working on it. It spits out exactly what's happening. It threw a CSV file up here, so I can hit that and download it into DraftKings in this case, or if it was FanDuel for football, to be Yahoo as well. And I can hit close and look at what it does. It shows me all the variations, and it's called diversity. You want to get different. I like it coverage, so I'm not locked in on any particular stack, right? I've got some variants. And the first one, Glasnow France, Gibson Harris, Stroman Matz, France Matz, and Matz France again. And then the lineups are going to be a little bit different. I let it do its thing. I could have, we have pro settings on top of this. I mean, however, what's a good word for whatever it is you desire to do in the way of strategies, you can do it. And that's why we're so excited. We've been working on this for months. It's getting to the point now, as you can see, with the stack attack. And again, let me know if you like my sunglasses. No, I'm kidding. Let me know if you know of anybody else out there, 7-player projection feeds, data partners, probably a combined 100 years experience. And then with a proprietary blend, if it gives you that kind of an option anywhere else, pro settings, again, you can, it showed that I had 100% max exposure. So I could have had the same player as I did in some of those lineups, all of them, or I can dial this down to whatever, 90, 80, 70, 60, 50. You get the point. I don't really need to put the team stacking bonus in because I programmed it on the outside. If I want a little 3-game slate, I don't know if I'd want to fade a team, but if I did and just say don't give me any or A's, I could do that. If I want to get specific on my exposure, if I ran a 150, and because of all the ownership Glasnow, maybe I go 50% max exposure. I mean, just a lot of crazy different opportunities to, have a strategy. And the key, I think, you have to have you got to make a stand, right? What are you going to do? Are you going to try to chase everybody else and go after the most popular, which are the most expensive, or you're going to get a little different? Some people call it throwing a dart, and hope that diversity propels you into winning a little fantasy sports money with DraftKings, FanDuel, Yahoo. A lot of people had a great conversation today. They use this information to play on the DFS prop pick sites. Like we have a great partnership with Drafters. They have prop picks. Also have a relationship with Underdog. They have prop picks. Prize Picks has prop picks. And so you can use this in there more or less. You can look and say, well, Glasnow is projected to have this many points. Look at what his strikeouts. If you think he's going to survive the Oriole power lineup that they put out there, then you can go more or you can go less. My personal opinion, and this video is going to be out there for thousands to watch, I'm not a fan of Glasnow tonight in that Baltimore scenario. So again, I showed you earlier, you can try this $1, 7 days. There's no auto upgrading you. If you like what you see and you think, wow, there's incredible value, 1 month at a time, $29.97. There's another offer while in beta, which we are. One-time, lifetime, all sports. You get all this with baseball. You're going to get all this with football. There won't be 7 providers. I know of at least one that's just baseball only. That's Ballpark Pal. But there will be a number of providers for football, NBA basketball, golf, and whatever else we add. $299.97. One time, lifetime, all time, and you get access forever. Eventually, that'll become an annual fee, and then we've got some other crazy products coming down the pipe for your, the best ball players. NFL's coming up. We have a Taguchi Brain and the Machine, which has it performed over the years really, really well in season long. It was a #1 way back in the day, 2012, 13, 14. #1 product in CBS app Sports Central. We are lighting that back up bigger and better than ever. Can't give you a for sure date on that. That'll be accessible. The Machine, with the Taguchi brain, which helps you to strategize, to put yourself in a great place to win. We don't guarantee anything. The results are not promised. I've done really well. Some players in the early goings have done really well. If you happen to come in and win the Millie Maker in NFL, that's more power to you. That doesn't mean the next person will or won't. It's for entertainment purposes, and we just try to give you as much value as possible so you can be equipped to try to do well. I try to show people, you don't have to play in the high stakes. If you like I started in the late 90s, just playing with a group of guys in football, right? We kept score USA Today on Monday, and then all of a sudden online there was opportunity, and then DraftKings FanDuel, and started out, with the smaller stakes is fun, right? Something to do to watch some of the, I think it's updating there. It updates get ready to update every 30 minutes, live feeds, especially important going before the lock, which is 3:40. So I'm gonna leave this video out there. It'll be on our YouTube channel. I'll post it on Twitter. YouTube is Fantasy Sports Logic. If you go to youtube.com, real early, we've only had it for a couple weeks. Subscribe, there's just a handful of people. Videos are starting to get some views. We've got some big media pushes coming. There's an affiliate program. If you like what you see and sign up to be a free affiliate on the link on here, right there. $100 if you refer somebody that pays $299.97. That would be nice to use to play with. $10 if they sign up for the monthly. So I think we're one of the few affiliate programs, super aggressive. I mean, 33% is what we pay out. So anyways, I think I've rambled on long enough. Good luck tonight if you see this video. Good luck in the future. Feel free to reach out to me with any questions. Thank you. Hopefully you'll have an amazingly awesome, super spectacular Thursday.